Hello everyone. It's 2 p.m., so we're just going to jump right in and get started. Well, welcome to OneDrive on the Go. My name is Jack. I'm a product designer on the OneDrive mobile team.
And I'm Nick. I'm an engineer on the same team.
And in the next 20 minutes, we'll go through some new features, some improvements we made to the app, and a couple of things that we're showing for the very first time today.
We're really excited to be up here. Jack is a designer and myself is an engineer, because we think when both disciplines come together for features like some of the ones we'll be showing today, you can come up with a really fantastic end result. We've been looking forward to showing you for a while now.
Cool. So with that in mind, let's dive in.
So within OneDrive, there's a few different jobs to be done. The most important and obvious one is finding your files and finding them quickly.
The second thing we'll go over today is our new and very improved PDF editor.
And last, we're going to be going over some mobile productivity scenarios, some new features and some old ones like camera upload. So with that in mind,
cool.
We're going to dive in. The first thing we're going over is the first thing you see when you open OneDrive. It's the new look and feel. We tweaked quite a lot of it and came up with something that we think really matches the Microsoft look. It'll be familiar and yet look really great. You want to show them?
I could, Nick, but you built it. You sure you don't want to show it?
You designed it.
I did design it. OK, check it out. This is our brand new look. Ooh. Cool. So let's dive into the phone and get a more up and close, more personal look for it. What is this one? 3. Cool. Well, welcome to the new OneDrive. So the first thing I'm going to point out are our newly redesigned folder and file type icons. Our folders are now a beautiful shade of gold. Yeah, gold, not yellow. Oops. Representing the rich heritage of the File Explorer folder. We also simplified our file type icons you see here and brought in a softer look to our list view previews, which are just these guys right here. And as an added bonus, we also bumped up the text size of our file names to make them a little bit easier to read. So these are just a few of the small updates that we made to our files list that, when combined like you see here, make finding and acting on a file that much easier.
We also updated each tab with the new large navigation bar at the top. The large text is something you may be familiar with if you use Outlook, and it's in keeping with the platform. The large prominent search bar at the top makes it easier to dive into the search experience whenever you need it. As you scroll, the search bar will disappear, putting more of your content on screen. And if you ever do need it, you can pull down, and the search bar will be right there, available for you. Taking up more of the space up at the top pushes more of your content down in an accessible way, keeping it within reach. We also made some changes to the Shared Libraries tab. We've added in the Shared Library previews, providing your organization's branding and making sure the users know exactly where they are and what team they're working with. We think it looks great. Mm-hmm. The last thing is the updates we've made to the settings page. It's not the most exciting page in our app, but it's a crucial one given how powerful the configurations are within OneDrive. We've reorganized the page, grouping together related settings and surfacing common ones. A good example of this is the camera upload. You can tap right in. It's immediately made clear which accounts are available for camera upload and which ones have them enabled. I'll enable one now, and we get a slew of new settings. As you look at the settings page, you may see one of those question marks. If you're curious about what a given setting does, tap on that question mark. You'll be provided a little bit of information, a little bit of context about what that setting allows you to do. We wanted to make sure that you could leverage everything OneDrive has to offer. I'm going to turn this back off so Jack's Vegas photos don't go up to the cloud.
Thank you, Nick.
Back to you.
Cool. Let's swap back to 5. Cool. So to recap, we just made it easier to find your files with a faster and more prominent search that's persistent across views, to simpler icons and previews that make long lists of files easier on the eyes and easier to parse. And lastly, to my delight, we increased the font size of the file name for better readability.
We also updated the look with the golden folders, the large nav bar, and the shared library previews, providing a more familiar and natural Microsoft experience. And last, we improved the settings page, grouping together common settings and making it so you can leverage everything OneDrive has.
All right, so next, we're going to be looking at our brand new PDF editor. We spent a lot of time designing a super mobile-first experience that we went through ups and downs, but I think we finally netted out at something that we're truly proud of. So to start, let's see what our current editor looks like. This is not the new one yet. We have to wait a few seconds for that, but this is our current editor. It's not bad, right? It's packed full of great functionality, but as one of our users pointed out, it sort of has like a Windows 95 vibe to it. And so we took a step back and looked to see what the best-in-class experiences looked like on the market today. And what we noticed was we all basically looked the same. A lot of white, a lot of gray icons, and a lot of weird interactions and gestures. So we turned our attention elsewhere to more creative editors like Concepts and Paper by 53, and even more social editors like Instagram and Snapchat. And we found a great middle ground of mobile first and functionality that we're really excited to finally show you today. So let's check it out. Meet our new PDF editor. It's totally fine to applause, okay? So we're going to dive back into the phone and get a more up-close and personal look at our new editor.
So Jack and I are planning a trip, and we've got a bit of an itinerary going. Familiar viewing experience. You tap the annotation button in the top and jump into the new UI. It's a beautiful, dark interface that really makes your content pop. Along the bottom, we've got our new markup tools. Got the eraser and the highlighter on the ends, with 3 pen tools in the center. Listening to feedback on the PDF editing experience, the pen tool is by far the most used. So we provide 3, each with their own customizations and configurations that are shared and saved between sessions. Now, for this one, we've checked off a few items on this itinerary, so I want to make sure that that's represented. I'm going to pop open the green pen, make sure it looks all right, maybe make it a little bit bigger, full opacity. Check and check. However, the food, the most important part of any vacation, is not quite ready yet, and I want to make sure that's represented. So I'm going to circle that, make sure we're aware that there's more to be done. In addition, we've got a new highlighter tool. We're going to highlight some text, making sure we emphasize that having a great time is the most important part. In the bottom left, you'll see which version of the highlighter tool we're using. Right now, it's on freehand. I'm going to tap that bottom left button, and I'm going to select the text highlight. And with that, I'm going to highlight, have a great time. Jack?
Thank you. So we didn't just bring in a lot of awesome pens down to the bottom. We also cleaned up our commanding. So if you remember our old editor, you had to press and hold at the very top to find other commands. Just press and hold, try to find something, wrong page. Press and hold, wrong thing. So we solved this by getting rid of it. We now just laid out all the commands at the very top and put the rest into a nice little overflow drawer. So they're easy to find and all at your fingertips. And we didn't stop there. We actually went through and improved the experiences of all those commands in there. So let me just show you real quickly a few of them. Looking at this PDF, there's a big old spot for a photo. So I could either go to my computer, open up File Explorer, grab a photo, put it in, save it, yada, yada, yada. But I have my phone right in front of me, so I'll tap the ... I'll tap Image, and I can either insert a photo right from my library, or in this case, I'll just hit Camera. Take a photo of Lauren and Eli. There are PMs. Eli's a PDF PM, so say hello to him later. I'll hit Use Photo, and it will drop right in to the PDF. Now, we also improved the little handles on the corners, making them a little bit bigger and easier to grab. So I'll just scale it down a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, good enough. And there it is. It's that easy to drop a photo into your PDF. All right, so next thing. Looking at the checklist, I see that umbrellas is still unchecked. I haven't told Nick this yet, but I have not bought umbrellas for the trip yet. So I can either, one, try to remember it, but my memory is pretty bad. So I'll just come up to the very top and tap the note icon and leave myself a little note. This is our brand new Notes UI that's a little lighter weight and just easier to use. So go and type in, make sure to buy umbrellas, talk like a robot. And then at the very bottom, we have salmon selected. And salmon really isn't, my color. Maybe in 2015, salmon was a cool one, but I'm more of a blue guy these days. So we made picking colors super easy. So at the very bottom, I'll tap blue and change the note color to a nice shade of blue. It looks pretty good. So I'll hit the check mark and drop that note right into the PDF. And just drag it right on over next to umbrellas. Pretty cool. So I'll zoom back out. In the last field that's open is the date field. So I can either zoom in, hit the pen, go to black, write it in. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm kind of like plus or minus 1 or 2 days on what date it is. I never really know. So we made this really easy to do. So just going back up to the ... tap that, hit date, and it's the 22nd. Okay, I was off by 1. So anyways, if this looks familiar to you, you're probably right. This is the same date picker from Outlook Mobile. We spent time with the team on Outlook, bringing in their controls into the OneDrive mobile app for a more consistent and a more familiar experience. So I'll just hit the check mark, drop the date in, and slide it on up. It's a little bit small, so I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Feels pretty good. And there it is. So there are a few things from pens to notes to photos to dates that we did to improve the editing experience. It will hopefully be live in a few weeks or months, so look out for it, and we're super excited for you to give it a go. Awesome. Move 5.
So, PDFs are one of the most used file types in OneDrive, and listening to your feedback, we knew we had to provide a best-in-class editing experience. So we think we delivered on that. We've got a gorgeous new dark interface. We've got the brand new markup tools and the simpler editing panel to configure them. And we don't have any more of those hidden commands. It's very simple to find whatever you're looking for.
The second thing we did was to bring in just a super familiar experience. From the Outlook calendar to more consistent sheets and gestures, it's a pre-learned experience that's just easy to use.
All right, last up is what we called mobile productivity earlier. This is various features throughout the app that we think shine in the workplace. And from capturing to editing, saving and sharing, we've enhanced every one of the steps in the pipeline to let you do more on the go. We're going to continue with the demo from Jack.
Cool. So we're going to do a little bit of role-playing right now. So pretend that Nick and I are in a meeting right now, hashing out some ideas for, our next Easter egg. If you don't know, we have some Easter eggs in the app right now. Press and hold on the navigation bar. Give it a try. But anyways, the meeting is wrapping up, and like any good employee, I will need to scan in and digitize my notes. So I'll just open up the app real quick and do that. So we made scanning super easy to do. On the very bottom right, there's a big old button right there that when I tap it, launches the Office Lens experience. So I'll just move over here, scan in my notes. That's a nice animation. So I have 2 notes here, and I need to scan in the second one. And we made scanning multiple pages super easy to do. Just tap the plus button in the bottom left, and it will relaunch the camera. I'll scan the second page in, and there it is. It looked pretty good. So I'm now ready to save. I'll tap the check mark, and our brand new Save As sheet will pop up. Now, I can either save right to my current location, but in this case, I want to save to Nick and my shared libraries. So I'll tap See More, I'll tap Mobile Design, Documents, and I will save here. And OneDrive is so smart that it knew the shared library had custom metadata pre-attached to it, so it populated the save as sheet with those properties. So I'll go in. For this Easter egg, we'll do both Android and iOS. I'll tap both. For stage, a little brainstorming. And feature name, we'll call it Fall Easter Egg. Now the last thing I'll do is give it a file name. Let's call it Latest Ideas. And I'll hit the check mark and upload that right to my shared library. Now, remember how I said Nick and I were in a meeting? And remember how I said that OneDrive is super smart? Well, OneDrive will know that Nick and I are in a meeting together and automatically prompt me to share the scan with my meeting. So I'll tap the share button right there, and our beautiful share sheet will pop up with Nick's name pre-filled with a nice little note already written in there. So I'll tap send and share that scan right over to Nick.
So, Jack shared that note from the meeting, and I'm going to take a look at it. There it is, latest ideas. Pop that open. That looks right. But I had some opinions on exactly how we should implement this that aren't represented here. So I think it's very obvious that if you want to do a good Easter egg, there's one way to do it. Turning the phone down, no. Press and hold, probably not. Shake device, no. I think gesture-based is the way to go. And I think I have a document that will prove that. So we're going to pop open the photo library. I think it's obvious my point has come across.
This is why he is not the designer.
So, with those changes, I'm ready to be done editing the doc. I'll back out, save it, and those are available for everybody to see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it went from 2 pieces of paper right here, into my phone, into the cloud, into a shared library with custom metadata, to Nick with his own edits, and back to the same location in just what, 2 minutes? Pretty awesome.
Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Cool. So to recap that, we showed you how we made scanning so freaking easy. iOS, the big circular button. On Android, it's the fab. We showed you how you can save to any shared library from the scan save as sheet. And we also showed you how you can add metadata to any scan you have.
We also showed what I think is one of the coolest features that OneDrive offers, the automatic meeting sharing. We understand that your scans take place within a meeting, and we pre-populate the share sheet after prompting you to share it. We also import your organization's configurations for sharing and provide a custom message. So, backing out, we covered today a few things. We started with the finding and viewing file experience. We've updated the UI, streamlining the whole thing, and making it easier than ever to find exactly what you're looking for. It's also pretty nice on the eyes.
Mm-hmm. The second thing we went through was our really new, really beautiful PDF editor. It's a truly mobile-first and mobile-born experience with faster and easier ways to draw, highlight, and erase your marks. We also brought in familiar controls that are pre-learned and just easier to use.
Last, we covered a mobile productivity scenario, tying together a few different features in a way that shows we've really supercharged OneDrive to help you in the workplace. From the saving to shared libraries with custom configurations, the shared meeting, everything really comes together nicely.
Cool. And so for the fun part of the talk, when are these cool things going to be available for you guys to use? So some good news. Our scanning with Office Lens in the app, our adding metadata to scans via our new Save As sheet, and our very cool automatic sharing prompt after you scan are all available now to use. So give them a try, let us know what you think, and please, as always, send us your feedback.
In addition, the UI updates, we're hard at work on them. We've still got a few kinks to work out, but they're coming soon. Keep an eye out for those, and we'll be sure to let you know.
When he says a few kinks, that's his next 2 days. He's an engineer on it, so he'll be busy.
The sharing prompt wasn't that you were in proximity. It was that you both had the same Outlook meeting on your calendar.
That's correct, yes.
Exactly. Cool. And as always, I said before, feel free to bug us. Nick and I both have Twitters, so always feel free to drop us a line. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, and anything in between.
And last, if you're interested in testing any of these features out for us, we'd love to have you. We have a few different beta programs. On iOS, within the settings app, or within the settings page in our app, you can join the test flight, provided a link. In Android, head to the Google Play Store, and on the OneDrive page, you can join there. It would be really great to have you all. We've got a few more slots. And I'll actually be at the OneDrive booth later if you have any more questions.
Cool. Right on time. Look at that. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming here, and did a little switcheroo on us, so appreciate you finding the new room. And any questions, feel free to come up and ask. Thank you.